not look infected, sweetie. Let's check the other one. The role of the school nurse has evolved from your typical Band-Aids and ice packs. There's a lot more illnesses. There are numerous students that I see on a regular basis.
Yes. Oh, she could be in
When anyone's sick, you're feeling down, you don't really feel, 100%. We want to help them feel good about themselves and feel like they're on top of the world, even though they're at some of their lowest moments.
The charge is positive, charge is negative.
Yeah, exactly. Me and my two classmates, we're working on chemistry videos. Math and chemistry, you have to show the work and everything. So we do it on here using the pencil and the iPad.
We'll hire at 16, and they have cashiers and cart positions that you can apply to. So
having the choice is nice because every job is different and not every job is for you. So one job can offer more money, the other you might have to do certain things. It's all how fast you learn and what you're capable of.
Hello, I'm Sean Spiller, host of Classroom Close-Up New Jersey. Quick question, do you care? I ask because I really do care. For me, it's important to make caring a priority. Over the past few decades, researchers have noted an empathy deficit. Maybe you've been talking about it too. What happened to our ability to respect the perspectives of others, to simply care about each other? Well, that's one view of the world. But there's a lot of caring going on. In the education community, when we show students we care about them, we're creating positive relationships and environments. That's behavior they can model and practice outside the classroom. So we begin this episode with a focus on healthcare that leads to academic success.
Meet Sheryl Lapp, the school nurse at John F. Kennedy Elementary. Every morning, she greets the students as they come through the door. And if they come through a little late, she's there to make sure they're not marked absent.
I sign in the tardy students. If the teachers have marked them absent, then I will reconcile the list to show that they're here and they're tardy.
And that's the start of every day.
My typical day as a school nurse starts with attendance, with finding out what illnesses are going around the building, who's sick with what, and verifying that the children are indeed absent, home safe with their parents. Good morning, it's Mrs. Lapp at Kennedy School. I'm just going to see how Sophia's doing this morning. I do keep a running record, a yearly school year record of who's ill with what. I do keep track of several certain communicable diseases. For instance, how many influenza cases we have, how many cases of strep we have going around the building. You have 5 students out today.
I do.
So 4 have flu, 1's just not feeling well.
Is there anything I can do to prevent any other students from this flu?
Good question. We'll use some school-approved sanitizers and we'll make sure your room is cleaned. I do maintain a website that has information for parents to keep their kids healthy. For flu season, it's how the importance of getting a flu shot. Your ear does not look infected, sweetie. Let's check the other one. The role of the school nurse has evolved from your typical Band-Aids and ice packs. There's a lot more illnesses. There's diabetes has skyrocketed. I have 2 self-contained classrooms with multiply disabled students. I have autistic students. I have students with seizure disorders. There are numerous students that I see on a regular basis. Good morning. Can I see Zachary, please? It's time for his treatment. Zachary has a condition called tracheobronchial malaise that will cause breathing difficulties with him during periods of cold weather or illnesses. You can put your mask on and give you your nebulizer treatment.
If he's having postnasal drip, things like that, trouble breathing, he will come down to see her and she will assess the situation and determine whether he needs just his inhaler or if he needs a nebulizer treatment.
Your breathing feel better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mrs. Lapp takes good care of me.
Good morning. Madeline has severe peanut and nut allergies. It's very difficult because we are not a nut-free school. Well, I'll talk to your teacher and I'll make sure that we do what we need to do to keep you safe in the classroom. I have gone in the classroom and done some education with those students, shown them a little cartoon film on the severity of her allergy and how to keep her safe.
I feel very safe knowing that Ms. Lapp is here and that she's fully aware, knows how to take care of the scenario or situations, knows how to, administer the EpiPen.
Put it on your leg and what?
You have to do
Press.
and what kind of protocol that needs to be taken. And for me, that's very comforting to know that I have that.
And then what do we have to do? We have to call 911.
As well as being able to answer my questions or my daughter's concerns if maybe she comes in to inquire to her if she's feeling a little uncomfortable or maybe feeling she might be having a reaction.
Morning, Preston. Okay, go ahead right to my office, sweetie. Preston has a chronic heart condition and asthma. It's gonna get tight. Give your arm a squeeze, okay? Okay, very good. All right, let me check your heart rate. I am definitely more than just a nurse to the children. I say a lot of times that I'm the school mother. A lot of times they just need a little mothering, a little gentle, hug and how you doing today. Good morning.
I feel very reassured and very confident knowing that Mrs. Lapp is here. She's been wonderful. I couldn't ask for a better nurse in an elementary school setting.
You wanna do it? Take the blue top off.
The role of a nurse is a very tough job, especially being in one nurse in a building that runs preschool to 4th grade. It's a lot of responsibility. I give her a lot of credit.
Good, no fever. You went to the doctor? Yeah. I'm a caring face for them, somebody that they can rely on if they need something. I'm here if they're hungry, if they're tired, if they're hurt, not feeling well. It's being a nurse, but it's a lot more. Good job.
School nurses are essential members of the education family. For Sheryl Lapp, it's more than just a job. She's passionate about caring, doing what she loves to do while giving back to her community, just like the cosmetology students we're about to meet in Belleville.
How often do you get manicures?
To tell you the truth, I don't get them.
I'm the same way. I try to do them myself as much as possible. I like going to the hospital because it's us providing care, and I feel like some patients don't have visitors, so I feel like sometimes we're their visitors and we're there to spend time with them to help them.
How you both doing?
Good.
Well.
Good. Oh, that looks so pretty. Good job.
Thank you.
So our Belleville cosmetology volunteers basically come here to be with the patients and to make them feel a little bit brighter at the end of the day. The students, I feel, bring a certain energy to the patients that just distracts them from being in a hospital environment and impacts on their healing.
Some of the people who really need a little bit of extra attention have that with the students, whether it's having somebody sit with them quietly, doing their nails, to provide a shave to the male patients, and even putting makeup on some of our patients to make them feel better about their day.
She's doing very well. They look nice.
We go there every other Thursday, and we go to the transitional care unit, and we help out all the patients that are leaving the hospital. So we do their hair, their makeup, their nails, give them blowouts, and just really make them feel good about themselves.
Do you guys have everything set up that you need for your manicures, your hair cutting?
Yeah.
We began working with them last year just in the transitional care unit, and then this year we introduced the oncology unit as well.
I'm Alex, I'm gonna do your blowout. Leslie's gonna do the shampoo part. It's gonna feel like a liquid at first, and it goes on your hair, and then we'll massage it in, and it'll pull any oils out of your hair, but we don't have to use any water, so it's very mess free. You don't know what to expect, so the patients come in and you have to greet them, and a lot of the times you're nervous, but as soon as you start talking to them and you get to know who they are and they tell you stories, you get to know these people for a very short period of time, but you feel like you've known them for a while. Every client doesn't talk, so you have to go based off on how they interact with you. It's very hard. Some people get really nervous, and myself, I'm actually very talkative, so it's easy for me to get along with someone else.
I was nervous that I would mess up on a client or I would accidentally hurt them, with a cuticle clipper or scissor or something. But after, I just told myself to relax and take a breather, and then it just came out smoothly.
Not only are they able to practice their skills that they're learning here in cosmetology, but they're learning professionalism, communication skills. It's not very easy for students, especially at this age, to be able to talk to the adults a lot older than they are. So I feel like in the beginning they don't really know how to communicate with them, what to talk about, and that's something that they start to develop as time goes on.
So you can choose what you want to do first, either the chemical app and the state board set, and me and Miss R will walk around the room and check as you're working.
When we take our state board test, in one section you have to do your rollers perfectly, in another section you have to do pin curls, perm rods, and in the back you have to do finger waves. So it kind of tests every skill that you would need to know in the field. Like those are like what you can't mess up on those.
The amount of work we actually do is not as easy as people think.
A lot of book work. That's the main part. It's a lot of book work.
The program begins sophomore year. It's sophomore, junior, and senior year. Sophomore year, they need to earn 250 licensing hours. Junior year, 250 licensing hours, and senior year, 500 licensing hours. Once they reach 1,000 hours, they take the written exam and the practical exam. As long as they pass both, they get their license and then they can go right into the field.
We graduate with our cosmetology license, so instead of having to pay thousands of dollars for beauty school, we get it for free. This education is completely free to us. We get all the tools, all the equipment, and we have amazing teachers who help us through everything that we need, and they take us through the journey of learning cosmetology. And when we leave here, it's, you know, you're set to get a job. Either if you use that job the rest of your life, if you get one job and keep growing with it, or if you get a job just to take you through college. Like, you're set with a lot of opportunities once you leave here.
It's really a chance for them to understand that others are experiencing something very different than what they're experiencing in their own life. For that to kind of hit home for our students early on in their life, and then consider how they can move forward and impact others' lives once they leave here, I think is very important.
It changed me because I realized how better I can make people feel. People go through a lot of things, and one person can change their life easily by doing a little thing.
Even after I graduate, I will continue to go to the hospital and continue to volunteer there.
When we return, we'll meet another group of students from Belleville High School who are also making a difference. Stay tuned.
When I was in high school, I was president of the Future Teachers of America Association. I went to a conference and I looked out and I saw this sea of individuals who also wanted to be teachers. I'm a maverick, and I decided, no, I'm not going that route. I went to college, I went into science, I got a master's degree in entomology. But then, after I had my children, I found myself in the school all the time. In elementary school, and I would raise insects and bring them in and show the kids all about insects because that was my master's study. And my husband one day said, "You spend so much time volunteering in school, why don't you just go back and get your teaching degree?" It made perfect sense to me, and here I am.
You're watching Classroom Close-Up New Jersey. Woo!
When you're a young student, or even a curious adult, logging on to an academic tutorial website is not uncommon. However, logging on to an academic tutorial website created by students for students, well, that's unprecedented.
I'd never heard of any other school doing something like this. You can go on YouTube and you can find a video on how to solve a one-step equation by an older person, 40, 50-year-old teacher. But imagine if you had somebody who was your age teaching you and see their strategies on how they do it.
No need to imagine, just go to the Belleville Learning Academy.
Belleville Learning Academy is brought to you from us, the students.
Here you'll find videos, games, worksheets, and more, all created by the Belleville Learning Academy students.
The charge is positive, charge is negative.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and my two classmates, we're working on chemistry videos. We handwrite the videos and we show how to explain, because math and chemistry, you have to show the work and everything. So we do it on here using the pencil and the iPad. Our website is basically broken down into different topics and subjects. For example, you click on chemistry, then all the chemistry videos and worksheets and games based on chemistry, they all pop up.
We're working on our chemistry game.
And we want to focus it around like students 5th to 6th grade maybe.
Jay and Kevin, did you show Mr. Sheridan the video game yet, or when's that going to be done?
We showed him the game. It's going to be done like next week.
Mr. Fabiano and myself are just facilitators. It's a student-led production. Everything's by the students, for the students.
We're just trying to get at least one worksheet for each subject, for each grade. We'll look up the curriculum for each grade level that we're like focusing on.
Right now we're doing nouns, verbs, and adjectives. So when we do our worksheets, they like it when we give kind of a little description about what they're learning.
Everyone in the classroom has a specific role, but it's not just one role. A lot of the students have 2, 3, 4 different roles.
Today we'll be teaching you the strategies to writing a persuasive essay.
They'll record the actual footage and send the footage to me, and I'll animate the logos, the videos in, and then I'll export it out, send it to Sheridan to review, and if it's all good, it gets uploaded to the website by Angela.
Check out more videos at our website, BellevilleLearningAcademy.com.
We have one student in charge of the website, that's Angela, but of course myself and Mr. Sheridan oversee the website.
It started off as a prototype first. It didn't look really nice. It just had the base of it, and then over time, I made the design for it, made the logo, and just had everything planned out.
9 times 8, that's 72. So we go on this side and we collect the gem, and then we go to the portal to get to the next level. We made this first game called Math Rushers, and it's a game for like 3rd or 4th graders, and it teaches division and multiplication. Trying to test how much you really. It takes about like 3 to 6 months to make a new game because you have to put like a lot of hours into it and make sure everything's perfect before you just upload it into the website.
Yes, it does take a lot of hours to create a successful website, but it also requires a lot of equipment.
We were actually fortunate enough to win the NJEA HIP grant. We won just under $10,000 for the students, and with that money we purchased 7 or 8 computers, we purchased headsets, we purchased all the different programs that the students use. We purchased a camera.
When the kids first come to the studio, I tell them all, this isn't a classroom where it's just I. It doesn't work like that, because in order to produce anything in a television show or in that classroom, it takes 17 to 18 students.
The thing that's great about the class is that there has to be communication, because we're all linked in some way. Like, I make the video, but then someone else edits it and someone adds the voiceover, and there's like a lot to it. So you really connect to your classmates, and it's not like a normal class. It literally becomes like a family.
It's the homepage. We have the 3 recent videos. We update it all the time.
I have high expectations for our students, but never let me down. So this is definitely one of the best things I've ever seen in my 20+ years in education.
Moses, tell Dr. Tomko what you created.
I created a worksheet for 1st graders that end with ED and ING.
If I could help someone like that's struggling in a certain subject, like that would just make me feel a lot better, because I know that like if I was ever struggling in a subject, this is like what I would want too.
This is kind of amazing that we're like some town in the middle of New Jersey, and as far as I know, we're the only ones doing this kind of thing. And that's pretty cool, you know?
And there you have it, the basics to writing a persuasive essay.
I really think the peer-to-peer education is the future, and is something that is so beneficial not only for the person who is receiving the information, but for the person who's giving the information, because they're kind of teaching themselves over again and making it more repetitive so they know that they fully understand it.
What makes this website special to me is that it's Belleville students creating it for anybody in the world. If you could get out and reach out to one person in the world and affect that person and help them succeed at something, you know what? It made a world of a difference. So no matter if it's 1 or 100 or 1,000,000, if you affect one person, and I tell the kids this any day, you know what? It's worth $1 million on its own.
See you next time from the Belleville Learning Academy.
You're watching Classroom Close-Up New Jersey. Go Hornets!
That is awesome.
I've never had a teacher that puts so much of their own time into our class. That really like makes the class like worthwhile.
That's perfect. We do retain the information very well because of how he presents it to us.
We made 2 cell models.
He makes it inspiring and an energetic atmosphere, and it makes us want to learn it.
Exactly.
When a teacher really loves what they're teaching and is passionate about it, it translates to the students. So when I learn in that class, I'm excited to learn because he's so excited about it.
The more signal molecules you have, the better it reacts, right?
All the grocery stores are at 16. How about you? 15. Okay, we're here at Hamilton High West today at our 3rd annual job fair. Behind me, what's going around, we have 21 companies here. The kids are having a good opportunity to find themselves a job now or for the summer. It started off as an idea of a group of special ed teachers thinking of how we could improve our students, how we could help them find jobs, because probably the most important thing you can do is find a part-time job while you're a high school student. It could lead into employment after you graduate, or while you go either college or you start working full-time after you get out of Hamilton High West.
We'll hire at 16, and they have cashiers and cart positions that you can apply to.
Having the choice is nice because every job is different and not every job is for you. So like one job can offer more money, the other you might have to do certain things, and it's all how fast you learn and what you're capable of.
Last year at the job fair, I discovered Six Flags, and my mom brought it to me as well. And she was like, I think it would be a good job for you. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. Because my job at Six Flags gave me more learning skills and more focus as to be a student in school. So now I can just observe and sit down and just put my mind to what I'm supposed to do, just do it, and annoy any outside force trying to stop me.
Make sure you put when you're available, because your guys are minors. There's certain work restrictions that the company has to follow. All right? There's a whole big process to this. It's not just coming here and saying hello and they have a job. The employer has to go through a lot of regulation and process to hire and train, because these are mostly entry-level jobs. So in entry-level jobs, that's a skill set they're going to have to learn from the employer: safety, cleanliness, a dress code, all things that students, unless they've worked before, aren't familiar with. So all those things that we talk about in the classroom really does matter when they start working.
How are you?
Hi, Laura. How you doing?
Good, good. So you looking to come back this year? Awesome.
It makes me feel, like I'm appreciated. It makes parents and family look good too, because, I never really thought I would ever be in an opportunity like this, but, it feels I'm wanted in the school, so.
Chambray was a great kid. We kind of did a little bit of everything with him. I had him work a lot in the kids zone, but also as an usher. So we find that we're kind of helping mold the kids into jobs that they could come along down the road.
I'm Christina. Nice
I
to meet
actually
you.
got a job here at the last job fair.
Oh,
in
did you?
2017.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm a cashier. Last school year, I went to the job fair and got a job at Wegmans Food Corporation.
Yeah, how do you like it?
I love it. It's one of the best jobs I've ever had. I feel the job fair is important to me because it gives me more opportunities rather than just going out to the store and having them have a now hiring sign. I can go up to these companies and I know that they're open to hiring. I don't have to ask or bother them, and they're willing to give me their information and easily be able to hire.
We've talked to hundreds of students, so we're looking for energy, we're looking for friendly, we're looking for people to come in and apply that really want to have fun in their job, because that's what Six Flags is.
I think the job fair is great. It gives students a chance to come out, they get to talk with local employers, work on some of those interviewing skills, things like eye contact and talking with people and just feeling more and more comfortable. So when they go out to the real job world, they have some of those skills in place, and it increases their chances of getting the job.
At the end of the day, it's positivity. If they can approach us, and right in the very beginning they approach us and they're smiling and they have enthusiasm, that makes a giant difference. Those are the people that stand out amongst the others. Those are the people, the candidates that we look for.
You know your social security number?
No.
You're gonna have to learn.
Mark found his niche in our building. What he's been doing for our kids is fantastic. He's coaching them on resume writing, interview skills, how to dress, how to speak, how to make eye contact. He's doing all these great things with our kids that really isn't part of the curriculum, but he's really implementing it into this program.
And this is just basically, the life skill for them as they graduate high school. Responsibility factor, the attendance factor, all that kind of stuff plays a huge role in what this job fair is geared to do.
I think this is a great opportunity for the local businesses to come work with our students and see how successful our students can be working with them, and that their hard work in the classroom actually pays off in the job market.
The fundraising that we do is all about giving back to somebody else. So if you guys are enthusiastic about that, passionate about that, this might be the right job for you. Right? So.
I'm passionate about it because I like to see businesses be successful and our students find jobs and see them working in the community. And boy, that makes me feel good because I know this job fair had something to do with them, you know, to go out and apply for a job, interview, and I'm hoping that when it's all said and done, when we get some results from the companies, how many students get hired, you know, we'll have a nice story to tell and say, hey, boy, this was a huge success. Got a bunch of students jobs. My favorite part of this whole job fair is feeling good with the teachers who worked on it with me to say, boy, we did make a difference today. So we take all this kind of serious about doing a good job and doing a better job for next year.
Well, summer is just weeks away, so hopefully all those kids will soon be realizing the benefits of having a room full of potential employers in their school. The job fair is an awesome opportunity for young people to connect with their community. Every day, caring educators are providing experiences like these, experiences that enrich their students' lives and encourage them to grow and learn beyond the classroom and into adulthood. You can find lots more examples in our video library at classroomcloseup.org. Next time, we'll share a super supper and more inspirational stories from our great public schools. For Classroom Close-Up New Jersey, I'm Sean Spiller. See you soon.
Good morning, it's Mrs. Lapp at Kennedy School.